Hey, it's Todd Newton for Invader Coffee. You know how you have a cup of coffee and you just know that, ooh, this is a really good cup of coffee. And then other times you take a sip of a cup and you're like, ugh, ugh. Well, what's the difference? We don't really know. We just know it when we taste it, right? Well, Invader Coffee hits it out of the park every single time because Invader Coffee is 100% air roasted. And when your coffee is air roasted, that means you're getting the premium quality in each and every cup. Only 1% of the world's coffee is air roasted, and Invader Coffee is in that percentile. You can order Invader Coffee in a multitude of flavors right now by visiting toddnewtononline.com and clicking on the Invader Coffee logo. Invader Coffee is veteran-owned, made right here in the USA in Austin, Texas. And if you don't love the way it tastes, 100% money-back guarantee. Subscribe to Invader Coffee, save a few bucks, and you'll never run low on your coffee supply. Great flavors like Nectar of the Gods, Tiramisu, the Mexican chocolate blend, and many, many more. Order Invader Coffee today. Veteran-owned, baby. You can taste that pride. Get yours right now at toddnewtononline.com. You'll see the Invader Coffee logo. toddnewtononline.com. We're talking Invader Coffee.
Welcome to the Todd Newton Morning Show podcast, featuring weekly highlights from the most talked about show on the FM dial. Now, with the talk that will keep you talking, here's Todd Newton and Maria Todd.
HBO Max has that show with Kaylee Cuoco. I always mispronounce her name, and thank goodness you're Cuoco. Yeah, the flight attendant. It's the second season. This show,
so addicted. Just got through watching some before I came to work this morning.
You cannot sit back and watch that show passively. You have got to be 100% focused on that show. Would you agree with that?
Yes, and I have to say this is terrible to admit. It's that show makes me dress better.
She does.
Like normally I'd be kind of walking around the house in a pair of sweats and some house shoes, but I feel like no, put on like some good stuff. Like today I put on a cardigan to come in here and see you.
Look at you.
And I put on a nice pair of jeans and stuff. It's because I watched the flight attendant early this morning. I'm like, well, you can't just go to work all sloppy. You gotta, dress kind of nice and put some makeup on.
I was thinking about that show when we were on the plane over the weekend. These flight attendants, you're like, well, what? You forget. Sometimes you forget when they're just walking up and down the aisles asking if you'd like something to drink or some peanuts or crackers or pretzels, whatever. You forget that these human beings actually have lives out off of this plane.
Right.
These are actual people involved in actual relationships that have actual emotions. And the flight attendant on HBO Max has kind of reminded us of that. But there is,
yes,
every now and again, you'll get a flight attendant who gets disgruntled with their airline or they get fired or whatever, and they will go public with some flight attendant secrets, like some juice that flight attendants really don't let us common folk in on. And
right.
This one flight attendant, and he wouldn't even say which airline he was a part of, but he wanted to reveal some secrets, and I thought you would find these interesting. First of all, flight attendants have obviously a list of every passenger's full name and seat number. And when they see someone in the seat that interests them for whatever reason, maybe you're dressed well, or maybe you're dressed kind of funky, or maybe you say something kind of funny or whatever, they often will go into the little lounge, back by the toilets and pull the curtain, and they'll Google you to see what your story is, to see what's going on with
God.
you. Yeah, like what's this person in 12C? What are they all about? But they'll Google some passengers, and they want you to know, this is fun. No matter what you see or read online, getting a free upgrade to first class is a big no 99% of the time. The flight attendants cannot put you up in front. Can you imagine what the rest of the passengers would say if they found out that some flight attendant just bumped you up to first class? It's like, no, it would never, ever fly, so to speak. They
get the side eye from everybody.
They also want you to know that when the flight attendants greet you as you're stepping on board the plane, they're doing two things. Number one, they're checking to see if you're drunk or stoned. They're keeping an eye on
Wow.
you. They're sniffing you. They're watching for the signs. And number two, they're checking to see if you're buff enough in the event of emergency, if you could be one of the ones they tap for help. Because if they tap you for help, you got to do it. Got to help them. What are you going to say? So they're looking for their reinforcements there. And finally, this guy wants everyone to know that you should immediately, upon taking your seat, wipe down your tray table because they are never cleaned or sanitized between flights. It is your responsibility to wipe down that tray table. I thought that was interesting.
Wow.
Little insight there from
Now
our
I'm
flight
like,
attendants.
well, I'm not dressing all nice anymore. They can't bump me up. Who cares? Flip-flops for everybody.
Talk as colorful as the tattoos on his skin. It's the Todd Newton Morning Show with Maria Todd.
The Todd Newton Morning Show with Maria Todd. Good morning. It is the ToddNewtonMorningShow.com. There's the website. That's how you can get unprecedented access to everything we're doing and talking about here. Links to communicate with us, to connect with us. You can also subscribe to our podcast over there, which is available all over the world, ToddNewtonMorningShow.com. Maria, did you happen to see this bizarre, I'm an Arizona guy, love State 48. It's home for me. Did you see this story about the retired Arizona sheriff who's been crashing wedding receptions? Did you see this by chance?
No.
Oh, good. Have you ever crashed a wedding reception, by the way?
No.
It's supposedly a real thing. And I guess the concept behind it is, if somebody doesn't know who you are, they just think you're from the other side of the family, And they're
right.
like, oh, she must be from the groom's side. So nobody asks questions. And these people, we all saw the movie with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, Wedding Crashers. But we hear about people that go in and they drink at the bar and they eat the food. Well, this guy has been crashing wedding receptions here in Arizona, and it ain't to meet bridesmaids. It ain't to grab some free food. His name is Landon Rankin. He's 54 years old. He should know better. He was a cop for over 20 years, but he was recently charged with third-degree burglary because this guy, this Landon Rankin, hit at least, 11 Phoenix area wedding receptions. Those are only the ones that they've got video of him doing it. 11.
Oh, my God.
And what he was doing, Maria, was he was looting the gift tables.
What?
He would walk into like these banquet centers or hotel conference, and he would dress nice, and he would make a lap of the room and smile and grab a drink, and then he'd walk past the gift table, and he would take envelopes. He wouldn't take gifts. He would take envelopes, assuming, of course, that there was cash in them.
There's money.
And he snagged up to $6,000 before he was finally caught. But here's the thing. If you get caught doing something, don't you agree, and this might be easier said than done, don't you agree that the best thing to do is just own up to it and take your medicine and get past it, right? When you try to tap dance your way out of something, it only gets worse. Would you agree?
Yeah. And I think with you being the former sheriff or whatever, you should just, hey, you guys got me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was lonely, whatever, and was doing this.
Well, that's what he did. So when he got caught, and again, they got him hitting at least 11 of these. There got to be more. He claims that he was just going to the receptions because he wanted to soak in the beauty of new marriage and new love because he was going through a divorce. And so
he was soaking in all that money. That's what he was soaking in.
$6,000, man. $6,000. And
golly.
And the gall of just walking up to a table and snagging something. I don't even like going to the hors d'oeuvre table too many times. I think people are staring, let alone walking past the gift table.
I'm thinking, who wants to go to that many receptions? You know what I mean? You don't really want to go to that many receptions. You go because you like whoever's getting married, and then you're looking at your watch, how soon can I leave without it looking bad?
2 laps of the room. Get your picture taken with as many people as possible, and get the de la heck out of there. That's my motto.
Go to the receiving line. Good, great. I've taken a picture with the bride and groom, and I'm out of here.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Subscribe now so you never miss a beat. For more Todd and Maria, visit ToddNewtonMorningShow.com. The Todd Newton Morning Show podcast. Great talk that will keep you talking. Produced by the host with the most, LLC. All rights reserved.